can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted to be joined by Danny. We are reacting to kind of bit of news in the boxing world, I suppose, Danny, that there's actually a real possibility that Anthony Joshua may be fighting Jake Paul next. I mean, it sounds ridiculous saying it, doesn't it? But there have been several reports and talks that it might actually be happening. Jake Paul obviously meeting with Turkey Al Sheikh, saying it might happen. Eddie Hearn coming out and saying that there's a possibility that it could even happen next for his man AJ. So yeah, crazy one. Just thought we'd jump on and react to all this kind of news and just kind of get your initial thoughts on that situation, Danny.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Can't believe we've just had an undisputed heavyweight world title fight. We're sitting there talking about AJ, Jake Paul, but such is the nature of boxing at the minute. I think if you were told 5 years ago that this would be a fight that you're discussing as having a serious possibility of happening, I think you probably checked into the nearest mental asylum. But over the last few years, we've learned to not be surprised with anything involving Jake Paul. Really, the Mike Tyson fight happened. The Canelo Alvarez fight came to within a fly's wing of happening, and that's what leads me to believe that I think this actually could happen. As you alluded to there, the meeting between Jake Paul and Turkey Al Sheikh seems to have been the catalyst to really get the ball moving with this. Watched some interviews with Eddie Hearn. He's as shocked as me and you, but he does seem to think that this is a real possibility happening. And from what Eddie's saying, it all comes down to what Jake wants to do. And Jake said, obviously, he was in London for the Usyk Dubois fight. He said it's going to happen. He said he's going to knock Anthony Joshua out. So we'll wait for further developments. Crazy stuff. Can't believe we're talking about it, but here we are.
Yeah, but it is mental, and like even the fact that Jake Paul was in the ring after the Usyk fight, like. But anyway, it's a different story. But
Terrible.
like, yeah, I'm just in kind of shock, really, because obviously I think I said to you there off camera, I have seen it thrown about and I just kind of ignored it. Like everyone kind of knows, and if people are watching this, don't know, I'm a bit of an AJ super fan, have been ever since he turned pro after the Olympics in 2012, and it's like, part of me is like, no, don't do it. Not that he's gonna lose. That's not coming from that angle. Just like reputation, like I can just imagine. I can actually picture some of my friends and casual boxing fans just being like, I can't believe he's actually fighting Jake Paul. Like, look how far Anthony Joshua has fallen. But that's kind of thing. So from that perspective, I don't want him to do it. And then the other part of me is just like, mate, just go in there and iron him out within a round and just shut everybody up and kind of do boxing a favor almost. But yeah, I mean, it seems that there's actually a bit of momentum here to the chat, which kind of surprises me and yeah, worries me a little bit. I just don't want it to happen, to be honest. That's my kind of take on it. Part of me does think that it's just going to be all smoke and mirrors, and like, will it actually happen? There's no, I don't think so. Like, part of me still thinks it actually won't happen, even despite all of this. I don't know. That's still my gut feeling. Um, Still think if Jake Paul wants a real meaningful fight, I think the Tommy Fury rematch is there for him. He got beaten that fight the first time. Obviously gone in different almost after that, Tommy Fury's kind of career has gone like that and Jake Paul's has gone like that, I suppose. Um but I think that's the only loss on Jake Paul's resume, and maybe he want to avenge that. I see that being perhaps more likely, or even for more washed up old UFC fighters to fight. I think there's probably a few more of them out there as well. Uh so part of me is like, nah, it simply cannot happen. But equally, hearing all these murmurs, like from Eddie Hearn himself, from Jake Paul's own mouth, you know, what it kind of it kind of does make you think, oh dear, that we could actually be happening here before the end of the year. So mad to think that, but yeah, just crazy stuff, mate. Have to ask you, and it does sound stupid. Um, you wake up in the next couple of weeks and see that it's confirmed for late 2025, say November, December time. Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul's is happening. Heavyweight contest. Who wins? How? Surely, Anthony Joshua gets the job done and job done quick.
I don't even think there's any real point discussing predictions because I think if it's a real fight, the people who watch this channel for the most part are people who watch a lot of boxing. So I think if this is a real fight, I think we know what would happen. I think the only way that wouldn't happen is if there's certain stipulations around the fight that's been rumored with Jake Paul's fights. And I'm not going to get us sued by going down that angle. So I'll just stick to whether what you've touched on and whether I necessarily want it to happen. There's two lines of thought, and it's a good point you make because there would be a lot of criticism coming Anthony Joshua's way from your man on the street, from boxing fans about fighting Jake Paul. He'd be the first fighter, the first boxer sort of close to his athletic prime to fight Jake Paul. In saying that, though, I think Anthony Josh is someone who's had a lot of criticism already. He's someone who I think it has got to, and we do have a very different Anthony Josh now in front of the media and with regards to his attitude towards fans. And I'm not sure he cares that much anymore. I think if there's enough money on the table, he would probably do this. And almost selfishly, from a media point of view, this would generate huge numbers, huge interest, and there's not many fights out there that would bring in the eyeballs that this would. So from what's best for me personally, I would like to see it happen. I think Anthony Joshua can be in more meaningful fights. It's just the money. And with Turki Al-Sheikh getting involved, this fight would make enough money anyway if it was just done in the standard promotional way. But with the extra 50 million that the Saudi involvement brings, it's going to be a lot of money. I think Jake Paul, the Canelo fight that didn't happen, that was close to happening, showed that if there's enough dollars and cents on the table, he's willing to. I mean, he might think he can win, but people around him would surely know what would happen. He'd be willing to jump into a fight with jeopardy. So I'm in two minds whether I think it will happen. I'm in two minds whether I want it to happen, but we'll see. Give us your prediction.
Oh, mate. Like, as you said, if it's a real meaningful fight, like, it's over in a round. It could be over whenever Anthony Joshua wants, really. Like, if he lands that first right hand on the chin, surely it is over. Like, I mean, I kind of it's completely different, I suppose, but I do kind of liken it to the Ngannou one that happened where that went 2 rounds, and like supposedly Ngannou, this unbreakable chin, this granite jaw, absolute animal from MMA who got into the boxing ring with Tyson Fury, put up a good fight. Some people even arguably won that. Obviously, Fury definitely underestimated him and blah blah blah. But he knocked him down. What have you? Gets in with Joshua. People are giving him a real chance. Joshua, not the fighter he was. Blah blah blah. And like he got demolished in 2 rounds. And like that's Ngannou, who has the MMA background and who's done boxing for a lot longer, and he's a lot bigger man. You got Jake Paul, who's a smaller man who hasn't been boxing for half as long or even fighting for half as long and just isn't if Ngannou fought Jake Paul, he'd hammer him as well. So now if you're having the guy that hammered Ngannou, I know it doesn't work like that always, boxing math, but like surely it's just over like that, like tick of a finger. So yeah, I would be predicting I would be predicting a very early night there if it were to happen. But I certainly kind of still hope it doesn't happen. So yeah, whether or not it does remains to be seen. If you're watching this video, guys, please let us know in the comments whether you want this fight to happen, whether you think it'll happen. Give us your prediction as well. If you're one of the people that actually believes Jake Paul can beat Anthony Joshua, let us know in the comments because we'd love to hear from you. But yeah, really interesting one. Bit of boxing news for you guys out there. Whether or not it'll happen, Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, does it happen? Let us know in the comments. As always, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not doing so already. And please like this video, and we'll catch you again soon. Danny, thanks very much. Speak to you again soon, mate.
Just add one thing. If you think Jake Paul would beat Anthony Joshua, I'm not sure you should have unsupervised access to a computer. Cheers, folks.